InsPOWration, brand new television on Olelo. And what we're focusing on is inspirational people, inspirational stories. And we want to thank Olelo Channel 55 for making this happen for us, and alongside with the nonprofit Prayers on Wings. Today is our first show of a series. Hopefully we'll be lasting a very long time, because there's so many stories out there in the community, and so many people that are doing wonderful things, and not enough attention is being brought to these stories. And you know, as a community, we need to get involved and support these grassroots or big dreams, whatever it may be. And for here, our first show, I want to introduce our my lovely board members, actually core members of the nonprofit Prayers on Wings. I guess I'll start off to my far right. And in my far right over here, I have
Charlene.
And your last name is?
Aoki.
Okay. And then next to her is?
Kristen Kiko-Nakasone.
And over here we have?
Hi, my name is Alison Kusatsu.
And then we have our littlest but biggest volunteer over here. And this is Steffi. And I'll explain a little bit of her story of how she came along in this nonprofit and our mission. Our mission as Prayers on Wings is building bridges of communication and inspiring others through crisis. And this happened 3 years ago. We just reached our third birthday in October. And how this came along was a story of mine at the age of 11, which was 1984. Oh, just said my age. So anyway, I should change that. I can change it, right? It's too late. It's too late. It's already recorded. All right. So 1984, at the age of 11, I was diagnosed with leukemia. Worse, I was 98% leukemic. I was not supposed to be here. I was supposed to be gone, but immediately started chemo for a long run of 4.5 years. After my 4.5 years of chemo, the last month of chemo, because of not enough communication and because of all the negativity I was feeling, in a nutshell, to say, I became a 10-year ice addict. If you can imagine, all of that, everybody asks me, why and how did you go through that? And as we go through this, through the months with InsPOWration, we'll unveil all of that in the stories, and actually the people that we've come along and meet and met. And today we're going to be talking more about the nonprofit Prayers on Wings, to give you a little bit of a grip of what we do, why we do it, and how we do it, and what's ahead for Prayers on Wings. So our executive director and guru of PR and everything, she makes everything happen. This is the first time she's actually in the front. She's not comfortable with it, but she has no choice. Even though we don't get paid, she still has no choice because she's getting a McDonald's breakfast. So that's good enough. But we got Charlene over here, and she actually makes everything happen. And so I guess my question to you, well, I know the answers, but our viewers don't know.
It's a test.
Is what do you do for Prayers on Wings?
Oh no. Well, the main thing I do is actually take Devin's ideas and get them out. So what he does is he comes up with all these ideas, and then I try to turn it into tangible form, and then Chris and Al help, get it out there too. But that's basically what I do.
So is this guy Devin a good boss?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm really not.
It's really amazing how people come together, because we all have our things that we do, but without you first, your ideas first, nothing would move.
Speaking of that, I really got to applaud these three ladies, is because I've had a story from 1984, but it's these three women that actually move my story into a movement. And it's all of you that and how we work together, actually, is from a higher power. For me, it's my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And we're not here to influence anybody, but that's my higher power. And it's like you said, how God puts people in in each other's lives and how we work, you know, and how we actually, all of us met is all different. We all serve a different role to each other. And for example, Kristen is my ex-wife and still my best friend, always been my best friend, and she's still in my life. And your role, I guess, in this nonprofit Prayers on Wings would be to say you coordinate whatever we have an event or anything public or anything that we're going to move ahead with. You are in charge of putting all the volunteers together. And how is that like?
It's great. We have a awesome group of volunteers that we're so thankful for. So yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff. And the reason why for that is we handpick them. We're very picky about who you work with. And it's really all about the chemistry. We work, even though it's a day at a time or even a minute at a time, things that we know we could get done in a day, but we will take the time and take a week or a month just to make sure that every I was dotted and every T was crossed, and make sure, more importantly, that the heart and the soul was involved in the action. And then that's what Prayers on Wings is all about, is all about feel-good feeling. And that's the payment, right? That's why we can call ourselves a non-profit, but it is still priceless. Yeah, so there's no money on that value. Before we meet Allison, I want to introduce our littlest but biggest volunteer, since we're on the volunteer run, is little Stephanie over here. Can she get in the shot? There she is. Smile, you're on camera. So this little girl came about is she was looking for a cause to give some monies to do a bigger mission. And she wanted to see her money do good and keep doing good and keep doing good. And she wanted to get involved. And how old are you, Steffi? 8. She's 8 years old. And were you 7 when you started? No, she always 8. Okay, wow. 6.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so
Right?
6 years
When you
old.
started with us, yeah.
You can imagine, at 6 years old, this little girl had such a big heart, such a big mission to do good. So here she calls and she says she wants to donate her monies to the Duck Man. and that's my nickname is Ducky. I explained that later on why, but we want to keep you interested as the week, so you can't give it all right now. But my nickname is Ducky, and she said, I want to give my money to the Duck Man. So Charlene got a call one day because she's our contact person, and we got a little story about her, and then we'll unveil that later on too. But she wanted to serve a purpose, and it started from there. And so she gave a nice chunk of change to us, and they, just fell in our lap. We needed it at that time, and it came. And it kept our mission going, and all she wanted to do was be there, help out. So she started coming along with us to the hospitals and to the events and to the expos and all of that. And she's been there all the time. Her mom brings her, dad brings her all the time, and drops her off, stays and helps us out too. They're part of our volunteer team, and right now she's still continuing to donate. What she does with her and her family is they recycle bottles and cans every month, and they have a priceless gift at the end of the month, and they come together as a family, and that's a really cool thing. They come together as a family, and they give it as a family, and they all encourage Steffi's dream, and which is what we're about. We're about working with children in crisis, and inspiring others through crisis, and bridging that bond of family time, of quality time, which is how I'm going to introduce our next board member, core member, is Allison Kusatsu. Allison and I go back all the way through to high school. She had never said a word to me in high school. She ignored me. Okay, no, he didn't even know who I was. I was so small. Yeah, I was like 2 feet tall, but I was a menehune for Moana Loa. But and so is she. But we met in high school. We know each other from way back when. We're not going to say the age in case you missed it the first time. And through the years, we've connected again on social media. And it's again interesting how God throws things to us, and actually to me, not to weird anyone out, but Allison's name called to me on social media. Looked her up and sent it to her when we started as Prayers on Wings, just started, and I said, hey, are you interested in this? This will be our mission. This is what we're kind of going for. Didn't even really know what we were doing, what we were going to do. You know, it was just pitching an idea, and if you can remember,
Yes.
to all the way back then, over 3 years ago. Yeah, you do? Okay, that's good, because I'd be stuck if you didn't. So if you can remember to that 3 years ago, what made you decide at that time? What made you decide to say, I think I'll do it? Because you had a really busy schedule as it was,
Yes.
right?
So I saw your pitch through Facebook, and I clicked on the link, and you know, I had no idea. I've known of you for many, many years, but I had no idea that your journey was what it was, and the place where you were at that time. And so I was shocked, for one, because you know how the saying goes, everybody is going through their thing, so always be kind to people. I had no idea that you were going through your journey in high school and after that. And I was so inspired to hear what you wanted to do. So much so that I just started crying, and I just thought, oh, I have to support this mission, because it's so touching to see what you went through. I had a little bit of background in pediatric nursing, and so I know that children who are going through their own crisis, and they're survivors, they're warriors, and also I thought that the mission was so much bigger than just kids or children with illnesses or drug addicts. It's truly to bridge communication is what we are about as human beings. And so it's about even healthy people. Even you know, if you have kids who are healthy, you're blessed with healthy children. You can still work on every single day building that bridge of communication, because we all get so caught up in everyday life.
Right, especially in Hawaii, right? It's just to make rent, you know, where some of us are working 2, sometimes 3 jobs just to pay bills.
Yes.
And when we come home, we're so tired.
Yes.
And you know, all we as parents, I guess a lot of the stories go, as long as I know my child is breathing, has a heartbeat, I'm good, I'm gonna go to sleep, I'm so tired. But we don't know what's going on inside their mind, inside their hearts, what their day was like. And a simple question like, how was your day? Something simple as, I love you, is not said enough. You know, you can never say it enough. But just with our busy schedules, do we even say it once? You know, or ask the question once, you know, and that's actually what happened to me going through my chemo, is I did not have that enough. How are you? Are you okay? You know, is there anything you want to tell mom or dad? And my mom and dad never knew that I was suicidal, and that I at 11, you know, and all, you know, I wish I never was born. I regret. I thought everything was my fault, and after 4.5 years, it was a ticking time bomb, and that bomb went off, and that's why I became a drug addict. And this is what Prayers on Wings, my personal mission is, serve children in crisis and families, because it's tough enough being a kid, and I do it so no child has to feel alone or go through this or suffer any more than they already are. You know, especially with today's issue, the world does not get easier, it gets harder. You know, if I can recall all the stories my grandpa told me, or hear it from the mainland or whatever, the toughest thing was walking to school 5 miles in the snow. Right now, it's like you wish you could walk 5 miles, and then that's all it was. That's all it is. But today it's just tough to be a kid, and you know, I think through communication, we can actually gather that information and be there, because the world doesn't, problems don't change. Situations may vary a little bit different. It may intensify, but the problems are still the same as it always was. You know, not enough love, not enough I love you, not enough hugs. It's still a need. And that's why we brought you in, Al, is because you are a parent of 3.
Yes.
And sometimes they're like a handful, right? Like this morning, right? They were a handful, right? And that's why we brought you, because us 3 here, we're not parents, so we needed that motherly instinct, that insight. We actually do pretty good as non-parents, I gotta say, you know, but it still get the in-depth. Like I said, everything has to be full in the heart and the soul, and this is why Allison is a core person of Prayers on Wings. On Prayers on Wings today, we work with various people. I think we can say it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we serve all the way back to my home, which is Kapilani Hospital, down to Hawaii Children's Cancer Foundation, all the way to March of Dimes families, the NICU families, to cardiac children, and hugs. We did stuff with Make-A-Wish, Shriners. You know, we work with anyone and everyone that calls us. If I left you out, doesn't mean that I forgot. It's just we're trying to keep time. But we work with anyone and everyone. And if I haven't mentioned you and we haven't worked with you yet, we are available to work with you. Call us, find out what we do. You know, we host what we call the Rubber Ducky Workshops, which has been successful. But it's time to turn a new page, literally. And that new page is it's pretty cool, yeah? Because it's like there's a script, but there isn't, yeah?
Pretty cool.
I'm bragging, okay. But it's time to turn a new page, because we are releasing a children's book. We've worked with so many adults, and of course we have to, because that's, you know, they're in charge of the children. But again, communication barrier. Adults will get our mission, will understand the story, but not so much the children. So how do we bridge the gap? Well, so I decided to write a children's book. We got national publishing. We are being published by Tate Publishing. Our book is hopefully praying to be released in January. Right now it's in the final stages. We just got our cover. It is being put together in a hardcover book called Lucky Ducky that should be available in January. And I want to thank all of our friends and family out there for sponsoring and giving, so we can actually have this book being made. So this book is going to serve as our new project. There'll be a coloring page in the back, so we still, from the Rubber Ducky Workshops, now we're going to a coloring page. So it's still an activity book, or an activity that the family can join along all together with, spend some quality time. But they get to read the story of a little boy that did not have communication, and the happy ending, all in like hopefully 36 pages or something, right? Of why communication is so important as to have as a family, and that's exciting. You know, that's exciting. How, you know, they say 3 years is a milestone. 5 years is a bigger one, and I have no doubt that we'll reach that 5th year. 3 years has seemed like 30 years, maybe, right? We all have different levels of patience. In fact, Allison just brought up to me today how her patience varies. And I think as far as with paperwork and calling back and forth, the tedious things, Charlene has the most amount of patience for that. In fact, I would blow up too. It's amazing what she does. Kristen has the patience to actually put up with me and my drama. I'm a huge drama queen. Huge drama. You're mic'd. I'm a huge drama queen, king, and she actually can. Oh, that's what we didn't want. That's what we didn't want.
That's
and
okay,
that just
no one
goes
can
to
see.
show how humble we are. that I'm not going to cry about that. Hopefully you didn't even see it. It's just like a new shot. Boom. So because it looks better without it, right? So
What banner?
You know, there was like $20 of tape that was
That was
holding
a magic trick. You got a
that
free
was
magic
holding
trick.
that up. Tim is probably laughing in the back, saying, "Oh, I wish there was an edit button." I'm trying really hard not to blush because my color will change. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, okay. So
There's a drama king coming out.
yeah. So Chris has the patience to deal with me and all my drama and all my episodes. Like I said, she's my ex-wife, so she knows me in detail to all of that rubbish. And Allison has a different kind of patience, something that Chris, Charlene, and I don't have, and that's on a parental patience, which is something that's really difficult to have with 3 children, and they're close in age. So when they say the terrible threes, there's one that's coming right up there and taking a spot, and another one that's coming right up there and taking a spot. And I wouldn't say terrible threes, but that's what we call it out there. And I've met her 3 children, and they're awesome. In fact, you got to see the little girl sing "Let It Go," and you got to see what happens with Al when she doesn't do it right. It's so precious. Do you have any parental? You were talking to me this morning about some parental things that you wanted to.
Right. So not every parent when they're when every mother when you're pregnant, you have dreams about how you envision your child to be, and you have all these goals and hopes, and you know, sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, and for the most part it doesn't work out the way you think it's going to be, but everything that happens is truly what was meant to be at that time. Just this morning, we had major breakdown, temper tantrum, typical day. And so as parents, we all know that what do kids come to you and talk about? They come to talk about tattletaling and grumbling, right? And so I said, you know what, stop. If you're going to tattletale, don't, you know? And then it made me realize, you know what, if we are here to build bridges of communication, maybe it is allowing the child to ventilate their feelings, but rather than so-and-so did this to me, it's more about guiding them to say, how did you feel about that? You know, because really if you get to the heart of why they're grumbling, it's because their feelings were hurt or they felt disrespected or whatever, then maybe we could move forward faster.
That's a really good point. Yeah, that's really good.
And this is why she's a core person in Prayers on Wings, is because of that insight. You know, you cannot buy that.
Right.
You know, and even if you were to read about it from a book or even see a doctor and get that, it's not the same as someone that you hold close to your heart. And we're all I'm close to say that. I'm safe to say that we're all like family here, and that's a great thing, is when you can do something like this, something that serves so bigger than you are, and work as one heart, one soul. That's priceless, you know. And one of my speeches that I gave in 2013, I remember saying that it was my 40th. Celebrating my 40th birthday year, and on my 40th birthday, the best gift that I could ever receive in life, and I received it on my 40th birthday, was to find out my purpose in life, and that's really what happened. And so for my 40th birthday on, I realized my purpose in life, and every day has been a gift because I get to open a present, a different present, you know, every day, and find out where this present is going to take me, and it leads me to a million other presents. And I get to share that not only with these 3 ladies, but I get to share that with as many people as I want to. That's up to me, and it's through things like this, like Olelo, through Tate Publishing, through other nonprofits or other foundations or whatever it may be, even someone as beautiful and little and big as Steph, you know, I'm able to share that, you know, and that's one of the biggest things that I never thought was even there. I never even knew that it was existed in my life, especially through everything that I've been through. You know, I mean, it's big. I know it's big because I'm sitting here talking, and normally when I talk this much, Kristen will say, "Are you still talking?" But today she's not, and she's full of tears, and that just tells me, you know, those are little signs, big signs, that tells me that it's a good thing, you know. And the love in this studio is very big, and I'm hoping that our tech in there is capturing this love, because this is the priceless part. And again, you know, this is such a blessing. This is our first show, and we got many more to come. Hopefully, many more to come. I know 2 more to come, and I just want to say our next guest for next month will be a lady that has changed my life personally, spun it around in a circle for the good. She created this havoc of goodness, and such a wonderful organization. And her name is Eve Epitome, and she will be here next month, and we'll get involved with what she's doing, who she is, and what the Hawaii JCs and even the JCI and the United States JCs is doing, and what their bigger mission is, and which is, I believe their mission statement is positive change, right? And she'll be here to explain everything. So her favorite color is purple. So remember that. So if you see her in purple, it's not Barney, it's Eve. Okay, sorry, Eve. I hope you don't see this first show. But I'm not sure how much time we got because I forgot to ask for a counter. But I guess we'll just fade out. We'll just talk story right now, not address the camera so much. And I just want to thank all of you guys for listening, for watching, whatever you are doing. We might be on eyesore or whatever, but if you're listening, that's a good thing. Tune in next month where we have our guest, Eve, and then following month after that, we'll have 2 very important, special people in our lives, and a musical group called Luna. So again, 1 show of many, and hope to see you soon. You can our web address and all of that, our contact info will be flashed after this show, and feel free to call Charlene again because she has the most patience for it. We all hide and we just answer her texts and emails when we want to. Again, my name is Devin Nakasone, and again, thank you, Olelo, channel 55, right? Is that right?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Watch all of them because they're all good. I'll get that straight for the next show, but I believe it's Olelo channel 55. No one's correcting me. What? Okay, that's right. Okay. There's nothing in my ear. Okay. Steph, wave bye to the camera. You get to see yourself on TV. Can we get Steph? Hello everyone and welcome